Wow, that seems very funny to you. You seem like a
Well,
very happy guy.
I'm sorry, that was kind of funny. This is the boil down of just like, dear Lord, please let this video get so many views so I can start getting paid.
He knows what I mean. Hello, my Smexy fans, and welcome to The Loading Screen, the podcast where we talk about fun video game topics while we wait for your life to load. I'm your host, Nintendo Ben, and I am joined by my awesome guest and very good friend, CT the Holy.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Chief Tomahawk or CT here. Where am I?
You are here in the loading screen where we talk about topics, which, speaking of which, these topics have been covered on my YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out either before or after tuning in. And as you all know, as the time of uploading this video, it is Shoutout Saturday, the awesome time where we pick one commenter of the last video to read out loud and give a shout out. And the lucky winner of this shout out is Marussia Dark. Their comment is, I'm not sure why, maybe it's a tie-in to the power politics aspect of Fire Emblem, and the fact that they're both animes, but I keep being reminded of Code Geass, I hope I pronounced that right, and the strange frenemy relationship that develops between Lelouch and Shujaku. I hope I pronounced those right, so sorry for butchering those. But thank you so much, Marussia, for that comment. And I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but I bet I could see where you're coming from if I actually knew what that was. But without further ado, let's get into it and start loading. CT, would you mind explaining to the fans what the last video exactly was about?
So, the last video, if my recollection is correct, was how the game of Fire Emblem Three Houses is a pretty good, kind of a model of how not to make friends.
You know, that's a very good summary on it. That's... So
I try.
You try. All right. So I want to know. So like, when did you you told me, but like when did you first play Three Houses? Like what was your first impression on it? Like what got you to pick it up?
So my origin with the Fire Emblem franchise in general is a bit of a rocky one. I'll admit that.
Oh really?
I've told you that I was not a fan of Fire Emblem, but that
Yeah.
was solely due to all the characters showing up in Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm. It's the game that Smash
So,
Bros. Always reminds us of its existence.
yes, that is true. I believe it's now to the point that Fire Emblem is the second has the second most representation of characters from the franchise, right behind the Mario franchise, obviously.
In Smash Bros?
Yeah, in Smash Bros. I think it's like the second, or it's like tied for second with Pokemon. It's like it's like one of the most represented like games in Smash Bros.
Oh wait, that's actually, I don't know if we talked about this before, because like that seems like a very, I would have thought Fire Emblem was number one.
No, obviously the Mario. When you think about all the characters from the Mario franchise
Well, like, does it
that are
count
in
like
there,
Donkey Kong?
I don't think it counts Donkey Kong. But I mean, you still got like you got Mario, Luigi, you got Peach, Daisy, Bowser Jr., Piranha Plant, Wario. Like there is a lot of Mario. Obviously, I mean that's
Yeah,
Nintendo's, like that is the Nintendo mascot. But
yeah.
yeah, Fire Emblem has Marth, has Roy, has Ike,
Mm-hmm.
has Robin, has Lucina, has
Yes.
Corrin, has Chrom, and has Byleth, which is 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, Fire Emblem is a pretty heavily represented franchise in
Mm-hmm.
Smash Bros. And
Yeah.
that kind of oversaturation kind of made me not be a fan of a franchise I hadn't even played.
Yeah.
Like to me, it was just like, oh yes, to me it was very much a game that we only know exists because of Smash Bros. And that's technically true.
I mean,
I'll get into that a little. I can get into that a little later, but that is technically true.
I mean, that was me with Tekken. Like, I had Tekken or Tekken, how you pronounce it. I mean, like, I
Tekken,
did.
yeah,
Yeah,
Tekken.
yeah. I had no idea what it was until Kazuya became a thing, and I still haven't played a game on it. But like, I just like, what the heck is this guy from?
It's it's like your Street Fighter, your Fatal Fury, your Mortal Kombat. It's a fighting game.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so the overrepresentation was very much for me, who kind of saw Smash Bros. I was like, oh, this could be a cool way to get underappreciated, games and more things. Which I mean, I'll say about the Ultimate roster, like, oh boy, a lot of like ones from like single games were added in the DLCs.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. But yeah, the overrepresentation of Fire Emblem made me unjustly hate a franchise I had never touched.
Yeah.
Kind of culminating in Byleth's reveal in Smash Bros. Because at the time, the Devil May Cry Twitter had said, hey, keep this date on note. And it was the same date as the Smash trail, as the character reveal. I was like, ooh. I was like, oh, Dante for Smash. Let's go.
You thought that was gonna happen? Oh no!
I was hoping for Dante. It could have been anyone from the Devil May Cry franchise. I'll be honest, but I was like, in my mind, I was like, Dante for Smash. Let's go.
Oh my god!
And then it turned out to be Byleth, and I was like, well, I don't like this franchise anymore.
Dang it! I should have then just made a Fire Emblem character. It's not Bowser. Then it would have been fitting. For clarification, we're in a D&D group together, and he has a character.
You do realize you do realize that you would have been the second person to make a Fire Emblem character for one of those campaigns.
Yeah, you were the first.
I was the first.
Yeah,
which is very much a 180 from what the story I'm leading up with.
Yeah. All right.
Originally a very much a hateful relationship. And I think that hate was freshman year of college when that happened, when I was like, all right, screw the Fire Emblem franchise. I don't care about it. Like, no, holding up, the double middle fingers.
Oh my goodness.
You can tell I'm probably trying my best not to swear.
Yes, thank you very much for that. Is that why you're so happy? You're just smiling through the pain?
No. It's just my origins with the Fire Emblem franchise is honestly very funny.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny how I became freshman year of college, and that kind of I will happily admit, undeserved vitriol that I had for a game franchise I never touched. Carried on. And over the years, it waned. It was very much like, all right, I don't hate the franchise, but it was back towards just neutral indifference.
Because I just didn't care about it. It didn't really do anything to hurt you.
Not really. It was very much the initial anger of not having another Capcom representative, because to everyone out there, Capcom, when I see a game with Capcom on it, I know it's going to be fun. I like me some Capcom games.
Yeah. Whenever I see a game with Breathless Quest on it, I know it's going to be good. Jokes. Anyways.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, and then a small, very small channel that, you've probably heard of it.
I don't think I have.
A channel by the name of Death Battle.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah. Happened to finally get to doing a Fire Emblem representation. In over 10 years, their first Fire Emblem rep came in. It was Guts versus Dimitri from Three Houses. And I'm sitting here like, okay then. I know about Guts. Like, I know about Berserk.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Dimitri. It's like, this guy came from the game. This guy came from the game that stole Dante's spot in Smash.
This diamond came from the big heap of poop that I found in Smash Bros.
So going into that death battle, I wasn't really too much invested in it. Probably more leaning towards Guts, as I knew more about Guts, and
Placing bets.
he wasn't from Fire Emblem. I like, even if it's a franchise, even if the representatives have like no, like, I have no stake in whatsoever, I'll still like kind of think like, okay, and here's who I think might win. So yeah. However, Dimitri's analysis, which granted did spoil a good amount of the Blue Lions route.
Yes.
It did spoil a pretty good part of it. Like, it did spoil, you know, like the big twist of who Edelgard is.
Yes.
Yeah.
It did.
So I knew that going in. I knew that going in when I first picked up the game, but so the analysis, it interested me enough where I was like, okay, let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
And then actually watching the fight and seeing the outcome, it's been like what, 2 years since that death battle came out. If you haven't seen it, that's on you.
Yeah, I haven't.
Dimitri did win. Yeah,
Oh,
well, Dimitri did win against Guts, and I was sitting here like, like just narrowing my eyes, stroking my chin, just
I gotta
opening
see
up the
actually
Nintendo.
would really happen.
Opening the Nintendo eShop on my Switch, looking at Three Houses, stroking my chin, and humming again. And after a while, I eventually like, you know what? I'll give it a try. It like the analysis of Dimitri's story interested me that much. I was like, okay, maybe I'll give these games a fair chance because I did like what I heard. I kind of want to experience it for myself.
Yeah.
And so I downloaded it. I bought it, downloaded it, picked the Blue Lions because it was like, do I know how the story goes? Yes, but at the same time, it was just like, I want to see this story. Like, I want to actually understand. Like, oh, it seemed interesting to me. Will it be that same interest? Like, will it be able to hold me?
It's like the equivalent of like you watched the movie, but you now want to read the book.
Exactly. That is, I mean, if you want to talk about, that's like the whole reason I started reading like the Percy Jackson series. Like,
really?
say what you will about the movies. I understand they're not the best. Like they're like, I'll say it, they're fine. Like they're fine movies.
I mean, I think they're not too bad. I thought they were pretty good.
No, they're not that bad. But like, obviously, if I'm comparing them to the books are better.
Apples and oranges.
Yeah, but yeah, it was very much a case of like the movie was interesting, and I read all the books. I've read the entirety of the Percy Jackson Chronicles. I read the Heroes of Olympus Chronicles, and I do like his books. Like they're good books.
Yeah. Well, I listened to all of Epic, so yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, back to Fire Emblem. I played through it, picked the Blue Lions, knew what I was getting into, kind of knew the story. The only one I really knew anything about, obviously, was Dimitri.
Yeah, that's why you chose Blue Lions.
That's why I chose Blue Lions. It was very much like it. I mean, that's why I got the game.
You wanted to see.
I wanted to see Dimitri's story like actually unravel. Like actually, I actually wanted to play through that instead of like hearing. I was like, okay, this interests me. I want to play it.
Yeah.
And I did. And words cannot describe like the emotions that I felt throughout that game. Like I'll say it, I'm man enough to admit that I may have shed a few tears at times, but you know what?
I was wanting to ask, did some tears shed from your Italian
eyes? Oh, absolutely they did. I'm man enough to admit that I cry. I am quite emotional. I will cry if a story makes me cry. Like,
yeah, I could only wish that I could do that.
I'm not afraid to admit that. Yeah, I get emotional. Like I shed some tears. Like watching the final episode of Fairy Tail, not because it was sad, but just like,
Because it was
wow.
over.
Yeah, it was just, it's like, you know, that was the, like, Fairy Tail's the anime that got me into anime, so it was very much like, wow, it's over. I can't believe it. Like, and yeah, but yeah, like, I'll admit it, but there were so many powerful moments in that game that I was just like, wow, I want to apologize to Fire Emblem.
You want to do like a formal
Forever.
apology?
It was very much, it just, after I saw the end credits roll and all that stuff happen, it was very much, I was sitting there and just like, you know what? I want to apologize to Fire Emblem for ever doubting you, for ever thinking that you were nothing, and for, you know, absolutely, you know, dunking on the franchise that doesn't deserve it. And after that, I played through Crimson Flowers because I wanted to see the other side. Like, I wanted to see, like Dimitri and Edelgard are very much two sides of the same coin. And I wanted to see that other side. And then once I got to the point where I was like, oh, I can side with Edelgard, or I can side with Rhea, it was very much like, well, I know what I'm doing next. So after I completed Crimson Flowers, I then played Silver Snow. And then I saved the Golden Deer for last.
Yep, stark contrast. I started with Golden Deer.
Stark
That's the only
contrast.
one I played so far.
Yeah, I recommend the other three. The other they are all really good. All four routes are really good.
I gotta pick it up. I gotta pick it up. It's just it's just a big commitment, man.
No, I get it. Like, I get that's the problem with that, because you have to go through like the entire academy phase again, which won't really, what obviously, you know, through all of the routes isn't going to be very different, except for the fact that, you know, you'll be talking with the deer or the eagles, the lions. Like, it'll just be like, anytime Claude was talking to you, just, it's going to be Edelgard or Dimitri saying essentially the same stuff. And you learning more about, you know, each of them respectively. Like, that's how, like, that's how, that, you know, it's during that moment that Dimitri reveals, like, oh yes, Edelgard and I are step siblings. And I'm just like, huh?
Wait, what?
I'm like, wait, what? and knowing what Edelgard does, I'm just like,
wait, what?
Oh my goodness. It was very much a, oh my goodness, this is amazing.
Yeah, it does like make them much more close, and it makes it much more meaningful. Claude is very secluded from the like big narrative.
That is true, but I will say though that it is confirmed that due to, you know, politics being Fodlan politics being Fodlan politics. Someone from House Blythed did go over to the Alliance and marry into House Regan. So technically Claude and Dimitri are related, so but they're distant relatives.
So they're all related.
All three of them are technically related in some weird,
so they are
in some way
too.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool what IS did with that. It was just like,
why did you tell me that before I recorded? That would have been awesome.
Well, because that part wasn't important. Because Claude being related to Dimitri isn't important.
Because he's still not important to this narrative.
Okay, you're correct, but nothing against Claude. It's nothing against. No, I do too. I love Claude as well, but it's just like, I look at the Blue Lions, I look at the Black Eagles, and I look at the Golden Deer, and I just see the Golden Deer is just an afterthought. It's very much one of these doesn't feel right. And anyway, but yeah,
that's probably why I got like such whiplash when playing it.
I mean, I'll very much say like my opinion is my opinion, and people can feel free to disagree with me in the comments, whatever, you know, it happens. Opinions. I'm saying my opinion on the internet.
Yeah, you're on the internet. You're not allowed to have those.
No, apparently not. But a big thing that I felt when playing through Blue Lions was that Hugh was like they felt the most, what's the word I'm looking for? The most
Close?
close. Yeah, that'll work because you have Dimitri, Sylvain, Felix, and Ingrid are childhood friends. Like all four of them have been friends since they were kids, so
Yeah.
they have that. Mercedes and Annette are good friends, and even the outsiders like Dedue and Ash, like Dedue being Dimitri's vassal, his retainer. He
Yeah,
still
watch your
had like
language.
a
No, I'm kidding.
he still had a a connection there, and despite Ash being like a commoner, like Dimitri never cared. Like he still saw Ash as a friend.
Yeah.
So they all feel like one tight-knit group. When it comes to the Eagles, they're basically, we are friends because our parents work with each other, and that is very much that is very much the case. Like all of the noble kids, like all of their parents are like prominent members in Adrestian like royalty.
Yeah.
In Adrestian nobility. And then there's Dorothea.
And then there's Dorothea. She sings.
But then there's the Golden Deer.
Hi.
Just a band of misfits.
Yep, the fairy tale.
And that has their charm. I'll admit it. Like there's nothing wrong with the deer, but it's just like they're just there. It feels like at times.
It does. Like I didn't really grow a connection with the group itself, which is very hard. Like it just especially due to the fact that like how I played the game, like the fact that they had no, like the only thing they were there for was just to support conversations because everyone in my unit, no matter how hard I tried, would just die after the first round of every combat. Yeah,
maybe I will say,
I did not know about class promotions. I don't know the name of the battle. It was like when you're on the bridge.
The Great Bridge of Mirrodin, I think.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like after the reunion,
I think it's Mirrodin.
Yeah, like you got like 3 or 4 more like main story battles left, and then the story's over. Like that's when you told me about class promotions, because like everyone else was just base stuff, except for like the levels that they
then there's Byleth as the enlightened one, and Claude as his like master class wyvern riding dragon like archer, and it's just like everyone else is just regular.
Exactly. They're all just like, I did not change their classes at all unless like they got a prompt like Lawrence would like to change his class. Like, okay, sure, why not?
You weren't really changing his class. You were changing what he was studying.
Yeah. See, there was only one character that wasn't the 3 lords that wasn't the 3 lords and wasn't like story like main story relevant, and that was Bernie.
Because that's who we're trying to romance.
No.
That might be differences, but whenever I think of the Blue Lions, like I affectionately refer to them as my lions, because I love every single one of them. Because like I love Dimitri, I love Dedue, I love Ash, I love Sylvain, Ingrid, Mercedes, Annette, like Felix, all of the lions. It's just like, and it's very much the case. Like, is it possibly first route bias? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But again, like obviously, I will say there's no really bad characters. Like, I don't really think there's like that much of a bad character in Three Houses. But obviously, like I look. Edelgard's a good. Edelgard's a great character. You really need to play Black. You really need to play through as Black Eagles at some point.
The whole reason
it doesn't have to.
The whole reason
it doesn't have to be your second route. It doesn't have to be your second route. It could be your last route ever. All I'm saying, give her a chance.
I do understand what happened. Like that was the whole reason for that bit at the very end of the video where I'm like having couples therapy with Edelgard.
That was pretty funny.
It was just a way for me to like comedically communicate to the audience that that I do understand that Hilgard is a dynamic character and isn't evil per se, and that I'm just building up I'm just building it up for the sake of comedy.
Yeah. She yeah. So yeah, I fell in love with Three Houses, and slowly but surely that developed into the small collection I have right now of Fire Emblem Awakening,
Small
two of the Fates
collection.
games, Fire Emblem Awakening, two of the Fates games, Fire Emblem Echoes, and I played through Fire Emblem 7 and Fire Emblem 8 on the Switch. Oh, and Fire Emblem 11, which is a remake of nope. Yeah, Fire Emblem 11, which is a remake of the first game
Mhm.
for the DS. And once the Switch 2 comes out, fingers crossed that 9 and 10 well I know 9 is coming out with the game with the Switch GameCube.
Yeah.
So yeah, so hopefully 9 and 10, and that will officially be every Fire Emblem game that has come out in the West. Except I haven't yet played Engage. I
The
do
Mhm,
I
mhm.
do need to do that. I do at some point. I do at some point need to do that. I feel like yeah.
This is what I mean when I said that he is obsessed with the franchise.
You don't get obsession like this unless it's good.
That is true, that is true.
Should I
So
mention? Oh, I forgot to mention Three Hopes, the
oh, yeah, yeah,
Warriors
yeah.
spinoff of Three Houses.
That of all
I
the Fire
haven't,
Emblem games,
I haven't.
I think I have Echoes. I don't remember. I have the one for I have one of them like from the 3DS that my
One
yeah
of
one
them
of
from
the,
the
yeah the
3DS.
one that my brother in arms gave me.
Mhm.
But but yeah, like Three Hopes, the Warriors one is the one. Like out of all of them, that's the one that I would actually be most interested in because I love like Hyrule Warriors, and it doesn't seem like it'd be that much of like a commitment, but it would be like a fun like hack and slash.
Yeah, the story's different. You don't play as Byleth, and
Yeah.
for for a good point of it, Byleth is an antagonist.
Wait, really?
Well, yeah, because you play as a mercenary by the name of Shez,
Yes.
whose company was wiped out by Byleth.
Oh goodness.
Like you get to see Byleth as, their moniker of the Ashen Demon.
Oh my gosh, that sounds
Yeah.
intense.
And yeah, instead of Byleth meeting with the Three Lords, it's Shez.
Uh-huh.
And Shez joins the Officers Academy, not as a
Hmm.
professor, but as a student.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Huh. So you are so yeah, so you are rather well versed in Fire Emblem, one would say.
I have I have gotten quite well versed in a franchise I wanted nothing to do with. Yes.
So what would you rank or like what would you give a grade on the video like analysis? Like what would you like what would you give it?
Hmm.
Or like any
Maybe an
critiques or
8.
anything?
Maybe an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like I'd really say that. A big thing is like I feel like my biggest critique is you did kind of focus on how the three lords kind of are very divisive
Mhm.
towards each other.
Yeah.
I feel like something interesting could have been to bring up the fact that a lot of characters have like support conversations with
With other
other classes
Yeah.
just to kind of like bring up, but like despite that, like friendships, like despite their despite the future leaders of their countries like
Mhm.
actually arguing, it can still be a case of like friendship can still be sown even on what seem to be opposing side even
Yeah.
on opposing sides.
Talking about like like I let's say you're saying like I talked a lot about how friendship could be destroyed, but I could have talked more on
You
how it could be fixed.
you could have added like a little bit of like the like you very much focus on like the negative aspect of
Yeah.
like the lords of like the whole like that the reason the conflict begins in the first place was
Yeah.
because each of the three have different views for what they want Fodlan as a whole to be.
Mhm. Mhm.
However, there are plenty of great support conversations between members of the
The
other
members of like the houses and
classes.
stuff.
Yeah, between like
I
different
did
characters
I
and
did
different
mention
it,
I would love to talk about that as well, but like I did mention that there's so many characters that it would be like unfair to like
yeah, yeah,
cherry
yeah, yeah.
pick.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's fair, but I mean, there are definitely a few here and there that are worth cherry picking, if I
That's fair, but
may.
you should have done it still.
Yeah. I mean, if I may pick out like one of my favorites,
Yeah.
if I may cherry pick one of my favorites, Dimitri and Marianne.
Marianne.
Dimitri and Marianne is one of my favorite support conversations between NPCs.
Mhm.
And it's not because they make a cute couple, which they do.
Yeah.
I swear, when you play Blue Lions, recruit Marianne.
All right, I'll do it
And
because I fear you
well,
stabbing me in my sleep.
I won't. You don't have to, but I'm just saying I recommend it.
I feel the gun like being pressed behind my head. I won't.
I won't.
I won't rolling life dice. All right.
How much HP does the log have again?
Character in D&D.
Yeah. But it's a good one because they're of both, completely different factions. You got the Kingdom of Fargus and the Leicester Alliance.
Yes.
But due to kind of having a very similar, like, I guess, trauma of like survivor's guilt. And like how how both of them are like, how like Dimitri and both Dimitri and Marianne have survived the death of their parents.
Yeah, which is a act, like, in all honesty, that is like a horrible, like,
a horrible thing to go through. And most of Marianne's support conversations are very much, they try to make her happy. They try to, hey, you should try and be more happy.
Mhm.
Dimitri is the one who like very much says like, I understand the pain you're going through.
Mhm.
And he doesn't ask her, to be happy. He very much is like, you know what? I get it. And they talk about how like it's difficult being the ones who survived.
Yeah.
And it's really, really sweet and wholesome. And it's like, it shows that like even across like two wildly different nations, friendships can still be formed just because people can have, similar experiences. And like every house lord has them. Like I think, like I know that Claude has support conversations, like with plenty of others outside of the deer. Dimitri has a few. Edelgard has a few, and they all have, they all have them. So it's very much interesting. So it's all those are one of my favorite ones to not only like experience in game, but you can go to the wiki and read up on them if you don't want to. If it's not a character you really want in your army, it's very much a case of like, you can go read up on it. And those are always the most interesting ones because obviously, they're not the ones within the house. It's very much like it's a very interesting way because like you'll see how they react to like, how their different lifestyles interact. And depending on like, and some characters will have different conversations like during the war phase, depending on like who you're part of, like a conversation might look different, like compared to Azure Moon and Crimson Flowers, for example.
Yes.
It's like we're comparing. Well, I was about to compare Silver Snow and Verdant Wind, but then I remembered. There's nothing to compare. Those two routes are like almost 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Except for like 2 maps.
Really?
Yeah.
Again, I've only played Golden Deer, and
I swear to you. The only difference between Verdant Wind and Silver Snow. There's no battle at Gronder. You don't do that. You don't compete in that. And the final boss is different. That's it.
Okay.
That is it. Silver Snow is like 1-to-1. With Verdant Winds. And because of that, it kind of lessens the effect of Claude supposedly being this like master schemer and planner when Seteth comes up with the exact same plans that he does.
I see.
Yeah, I will very much say that Silver Snow and Verdant Wind were definitely like definitely on the lower tier of where I rank the routes.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, but Azure Moon and Crimson Flowers are
It's very hard to
some good stuff.
compare those to
It
that.
is it's
Like
it
wits
is
and
very
narrative.
it was very much like playing. I played through Silver Snow and then I played through Verdant Wind. I'm just playing Silver Snow,
Uh-huh.
but with the Golden Deer instead of the Black Eagles.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of like, huh?
Well, like the reason I chose like Golden Deer at first, like it wasn't like I wasn't trying to like I had no idea like of what
Mhm.
was what. Like I didn't watch the death battle. Like I had no clue what was going on. I was just introduced to this game like but like to like from a very close friend of mine, and I thought like you know what this might be fun to just play on my own and like see if I could just like be better. Uh, yeah, you see, like my route's better than yours. Spoiler alert, probably not. Uh,
What route did this friend play?
uh, I don't remember I don't remember what route she played. She did like a great job, keeping like everything a secret, like
Hmm.
stopping from spoiling. And like I only had
Hmm.
like one like sit down play session with her, and I chose like it was just like me choosing what happened because like to my knowledge, all I thought Fire Emblem was a dating sim with a little bit of anime fights. Like that's just all I thought it was, and the fact that this friend who loves dating simulators, like it really like put the hammer in the nail. Think, okay, yeah, it's definitely one of those. And so like I just played like I just like chose I chose Claude because I thought like he's like a very fun guy. Like he's just like the guy who I'd want to chill with, but I'm not cool enough to chill with him.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's kind of the vibe he gives off. It's like he's that really cool guy. You're like, wow, if only
I
I was half as cool as him.
exactly. If I was half as cool as him, I could hang out with him. Like that was the feeling I got. Like
I will say, out of the three of them, yeah, Claude's the one. I'm just like, I would go drinking with that man.
well, that's what it was. Like I thought this was like a dating simulator. I wasn't thinking I wasn't thinking it was
You
gonna
can't
go into.
romance Claude.
Well, I wasn't intending to romance Claude. Like when I go into dating simulators, I try my best not to romance anyone, but just to get as close as I can to everyone. Like that's what I try to do in dating simulators, so I can get the closest thing to the happiest ending, but then just rip it apart. Uh, but yeah, so like,
Benjamin be like, only A rank and that's it.
well that's what.
No further than A.
Well, that's what I tried to do, and then I realized there's so many people in this.
Don't worry, you pick a side, and eventually, at some point, whoever you got on your side is it.
Yeah, well, like you know how like determined I get. Like I was like ready to just I just said like I'm gonna try to be best friends with everyone here. I said to my friend when we started the
Mm.
set when we started when she started playing this with me, and she had that exact same reaction, and I'm like challenge accepted, and now I'm like challenge failed.
Challenge
Yeah,
impossible.
it probably is possible. I could try.
I mean, there are definitely ways you can recruit everyone. It's just there are going to be characters you can't get.
Yeah.
Like Dimitri, Edelgard, and Claude are obviously
Yeah, you can't have the
those
Lord
are
Fury.
versions. You can't have them. And then Hubert and Dedu are also,
They're locked
you
by
can't.
whoever you were with.
Yeah, yeah, and even technically Hilda is, but you can recruit her. It's just ridiculous.
Wait, what?
You need a charm to recruit her without putting any levels of support. You need a charm stat of 30.
Oh my goodness.
The highest requirement for any character.
Mm-hmm.
30. 30.
So she would be she would be like the last one you would be able to recruit.
And technically you can't even recruit her in a Crimson Flower playthrough.
Really?
No, you can't.
Oh, why is that? Wait, which one's Crimson Flower? That's the one where you side with
Edelgard. That's
Ah,
Edelgard, yeah.
I see. Yeah, that explains it.
I think the reason why they made her very difficult to recruit is because she technically takes the same role as Hubert and Dedue. She
Yeah.
is Claude's retainer.
Yeah.
She acts like Claude's retainer. So it's very much a case of just like, you know, you have the lords and like their three like most loyal members because, you know, it's not Lawrence.
Yeah. Okay,
It's,
you
it's
got
not
like all this knowledge on this stuff. And yes, it's not Lawrence. But yeah, you
it's
got
not
like all this knowledge
Lawrence.
on this stuff. But like here like I said, I was trying to befriend everyone to get to like the highest tier, but like the fact I didn't even know that, like the only thing I got from Hilda was that she was very strong. Like she's like she was like one of the strongest in the team, like barring Claude and Byleth. She was like the strongest, like by default, and she
Mhm.
like wanted to be on the sidelines. Like that was the most I got from Hilda throughout the
Yeah, she's
entire
lazy.
playthrough. Well, yeah, well, yeah, I thought, yeah, she's lazy. Exactly, she's very strong but lazy, and so like she was like trying to ask, like, can I just be like one of those that cheer on the sidelines? Like, no, you're no, I need you. Everyone else, just you blow on them and they die.
No, you wield an axe. Go in there and start chopping.
You go in there, start swinging.
Axe units. One of my favorite units
Really?
in Fire Emblem. Oh, I like axe. I do. I mean, I like axes in general.
Mhm.
Like those are. It's probably one of my favorite weapons. If you're wondering where the tomahawk part of my name comes
You
from,
like axes?
I happen to favor axes
I
as a
see.
weapon.
Well, then let me ask you
Yeah.
this next question. What
All right.
sorry.
Go for it.
What
No,
was there a
it's fine.
moment early in the game that made you go, "Wait, this is deeper than I expected"? Now, I assume not really because you were spoiled of the whole thing, but like,
Uh, Probably Dimitri and Edelgard being step siblings. That wasn't spoiled. They did not mention that in the death battle.
oh, really?
No, they didn't. That was like when I first heard that in game, I was like, huh? Because the way, yes, that because the way that the death battle kind of played up, I was thinking it was just like, oh, you know, it's that childhood friend, and like, you know, a lot of scenes kind of played up as like Dimitri may have had a crush on Edelgard.
That's what I thought until you gave me the background.
No. It was very, so that's what I was thinking is like because there are scenes where Dimitri's like he's like very like there's a scene like after you're done clearing out the Red Canyon of the
Yeah,
bandit group.
yeah, you could,
After you're done doing
yeah,
that,
yeah,
like Edelgard and like Manuela who is teaching the Black Eagles in you know when you pick Blue Lions
yeah,
and Golden Deer, but yeah.
yeah, yeah.
She's like, they're leaving and like Dimitri's oddly is like acting oddly worried and
Hmm.
concerned for Edelgard. Like, oh, I hope your mission goes well. Stay safe out there. So I'm just sitting here like, you got a little crush, and I know what happens. And oh boy, is that gonna be a little weird. But the moment he said Edelgard and I are siblings, are step siblings, I'm just like,
What?
oh, I'm just like,
We are step siblings. He
oh.
immediately runs to like a church and like just like wash like rinse his fist with holy water. Just like oh gosh.
It was just a moment just like oh, that makes everything different now.
that that just changed everything.
It was just like oh, I was like
Hmm.
like it was that moment that I was just like what oh I need more.
Yeah. So I assume like that was your like the moment also when you were just like I gotta see this to the end.
Oh yeah,
Like that was your
absolutely.
like when in gameplay is that like because I haven't played like when exactly is that if you can remember off the top of your head?
It's like a roughly halfway through the academy
Oh,
phase.
geez, so that is rather early.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly when. It's before the Battle of Eagle and Lion. I know
Yeah.
that. I can say that for certain. It's before that.
Hmm.
Because like Lord Arundel like visited
Hmm.
and said and basically and he mentioned Dimitri being his nephew, and I'm just like, huh? And then he said,
Huh?
and then like it was meant, and then he meant, if I'm remembering this correctly,
Yeah.
like he mentioned both Dimitri and Edelgard being his nephew and niece, respectively. And I'm just like,
Uh-huh.
and like in my the gears are like going in my brain. I'm just like, wait, huh? And then he says it like, ah, yes, Edelgard and I are stepsiblings. I'm just like, what? Like, how the webs? What? They're forming.
You just the cobwebs around the cogs in your brain just like dust off. Meanwhile, me playing Golden Deer is just the scene from SpongeBob where it's just that carton of milk that spills in my thought bubble.
Yeah, a little bit. Just like playing through blue lines, just that meme of me like pointing at like the conspiracy board, like
just your face with a conspiracy.
And then it's I just picture it's just and then there's you playing Golden Deer, and I just picturing that scene of Gojo just from JJK just happily like skipping through a field of flowers. It's like yay!
that does seem like it. I bet you could guess like what my like what point in the game was my like turning point when I was like wait, this is deeper than I expected, and like when I buckled down, like I need to see this through. I bet
think
you
it's
could
when
guess.
Gerald died.
Oh,
I think
yeah?
it's when Gerald
Oh,
died.
yeah, what gave
That's
that
my
away?
guess.
How'd you guess
I don't
that?
know. No, no.
It was like, so like when I was playing
It's your whole reason for not liking Edelgard.
that is my okay. That's not that is like the main reason for not liking Edelgard.
Wasn't her. It was not. I will say it was not her idea to do that. That was Kranya going rogue.
Yeah, I realized that. I did say that like that in the video. Like it wasn't Edelgard. It wasn't Edelgard technically, but it was part of, like, the main plan.
It wasn't. I don't think it was technically her plan to
Like
kill Gerald.
like with the Argothans, which was still the
Yeah.
Argothans plan, which by default was Edelgard's plan.
I even think it was Jargoth. I think Kranya just decided I'm just gonna kill Geralt. And I legitimately think that's what that was the plan.
Yeah.
That's just what happened. I think she just said like, ah yes, you ruined everything. I'm gonna kill you. It's just like I legitimately think like I don't think Tallus really had any like hand in like, ah yes, do this or anything. It was I think it's just Kranya being Kranya.
I see. Well, so it's still like it's not just
No,
like
yeah.
it's not just with Gerald's death. It's also due to the fact of how many hours I spent trying to fight, and like specifically like the Death Knight. Like I was I actually got to the point where I'm like, no, it's the Death Knight. Like I would actually shout that whenever I saw him on the board, and just like fighting all those people. Like, no, it's the Death Knight, because like he would like even how no matter how strong I made everyone, like they would die by just the foot soldiers. But like even no matter how strong I like made Claude or Byleth, like he would just like two-shot us.
I mean, in most of the early maps, you can just avoid the Death Knight.
Yeah, I realize that, but yeah, but I'm me. and I saw like, no, it's the Death Knight. I gotta beat him.
No, you get your chance to. You will get your chance to do that, but it's just like during the early routes in the academy phase when you meet him, you just avoid him. You won't do anything.
Well, like I didn't know that at the time.
Menacingly.
He does just stand there. Well, like I didn't know that at the time. I thought he was like just like I thought he was like just like a like more important enemy, you know, kind of like I thought he was like a mini boss or something. But then he just kept on coming back.
He technically is a very important enemy.
Yeah, I just thought he was like a slightly more important enemy. Like I can't think of a good comparison. I can only think of like Legend of Zelda comparisons. Well, you know, like in like the old retro games where there's like other enemies, they're like red, but then you see another enemy that has like the same model, but he's just blue, and so like they're stronger.
I think I get what you mean. Yeah.
That's what I thought the Death Knight was, but the fact that the Death Knight was very strong, I just kept on coming back. I was so worried, and then I saw the Flame Emperor, I met the Flame Emperor after doing like the whole Scooby Doo villain, like talking to the bandits. and saying like your role will be fulfilled shortly, and then like just doing like that fight where the Death Knight came back and like yes I beat him, no he's not dead, and then the Flame Emperor comes by doing a parlay with Geraldton and Byleth, and like yeah no way I'm gonna side with you. Like so it was me, it was actually me just hating the Flame Emperor with how hard and how many hours I spent trying to fight against him, and then realizing the Flame Emperor was actually, spoiler alert, Edelgard. I'm like, no. So because I was also like doing like my support conversations, but I was like I just put like a lot of effort into growing attached to Edelgard. So like I'm like, okay, we all have our differences. We all well, that's what I thought. Like again, I thought this was a dating sim with anime fights. I still thought it was a dating sim with anime fights, and so it's just like okay, we have our differences. We have our differences, but I'm good. I could definitely think of like some hurdle, like it's a hurdle, but I know that we could work together because like I saw how how easy it could be to work together on it, but just like how stubborn everyone could be with how their views are, or how determined they are to fulfill their way because they think they're the ones in the right. So I'm just like I'm just thinking this is very easy. That Gerald dies, Death Knight comes back in the next fight, and the Flame Emperor is there. Then you fight the Flame Emperor, and then it's Edelgard. It's just it's just the saying like hatred comes from love. Like in
Mhm.
some way, like love is involved with any relationship that involves hatred. Like either like if you hate someone, either you like love them or like they hurt someone you love. And
I
so
get that. I get that.
yeah, and like Edelgard affected both sides of that, like where she hurt Gerald, well, she killed Gerald indirectly, and like I grew attached to her character, and
Mhm.
then no, and it just gave me a massive whiplash because it seemed like because the Golden Deer is like very distant, like narrative wise with that, so like I'm like, where did this come from?
Yeah, I will very much say when I first played, I was in the same boat as you. I
Uh,
was kind of like, man, she's just an irredeemable monster.
yeah.
But then, like, the
If I
more
were to
like I
swear, I would call her a B word.
no,
Female dog.
yes,
Anyway,
but it was like very much like, and the closer I got to finishing it, like Dimitri made an attempt to like one last attempt to parlay with her before violence turned.
through the knife.
No, not
Oh,
even
oh,
that.
wait, that came later.
That was
Yeah, yeah,
later.
yeah.
That was later, but it was very
Again, I
much the
don't know the story
case
beats of it.
of yeah, but like it was before the attack on Embar, and then eventually the final fight in the throne room,
Uh huh.
which is a lot more difficult in the in Azure Moon than it is Golden Deer, because guess what? That's the final boss, other than in Golden Deer, other
Yeah.
than for the Golden Deer.
That's that route's nemesis fight.
Yeah, no, the Hegemon Edelgard. Yeah,
It is very unfortunate that Nemesis had was secluded to that one because Nemesis is such a cool character.
cool character. Didn't belong in Verdant Wind.
Yeah. Even though
I
I am so happy that I did get I'm happy he
no,
is
I
in
get
Wind because then that means I gotta actually fight him and figure out that he actually existed.
I get that. I get that. But I will say, if you ever play when you play Silver Snow,
He belongs there.
you will agree with me that the final bosses should have been switched. I
Uh
feel
huh.
like the final bosses should have been switched, because why are the deer fighting Nemesis when the route that has you siding with the church
Yeah.
should fight the church's equivalent of Satan?
Uh huh.
It's a rant that I will save, but you'll get it if you play Silver
Yeah. If
Snow.
you know, you
You'll
know.
think, if you know, you know.
Hmm. So so who would you say your absolute favorite characters? I would guess like Dimitri or Marianne, but
I mean,
like
all three of the lords are definitely incredibly high up
yeah.
there. Like
I
I will
I
say,
could
yeah,
guess
yeah,
which one's on the bottom of the totem pole.
Maybe.
Yep. All right.
Listen, all three of them are really good. It's just Claude doesn't have a lot tying him to
One of
like
these
the
is not like the
grander.
other.
It is a case of, and that's nothing against Claude.
Yeah.
He is still a fun character. It's just like when I think of the overall narrative, I like Edelgard and Dimitri a bit better. A
Mm-hmm.
bit. It's a bit.
Yeah. If you were more
It's very much
involved with the story,
yeah.
but then again, that
Because
does
like
kind of play into that does play into
it
like the
does.
story
It
of it.
does.
The fact
I will
that he was,
say
yeah, the fact
I
that
will
there was
say
no
it does,
involvement.
like playing through like Azure Moon, and then like when I get like there's a moment where Claude's like, hey, like we're like Lord Arundel / Tallest, same guy,
Yeah.
is attacking the Alliance capital.
Uh-huh.
And Claude was like doing like a whole defensive thing, because he knows like, yes, Dimitri will be here because Teach won't let us down. Very much banking on like knowing Dimitri's character, and like, yeah, Teach will be there with him. He'll do it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the Kingdom Army shows up,
Yeah.
and essentially the last 5 minutes of that interactions, Claude's like, oh, by the way, the Alliance is yours now. Like, I'm giving the Alliance back to the kingdom.
Uh-huh.
Here's my bow. Bye.
Wait, so he actually just dipped?
Yes, he dips.
That's
just
what
dips.
he does?
Yes, he just leaves. You
He just pieces out?
Yes, 100%. That is what he does. You kill Tallis. You kill Tallis. You protect Daedrew.
Uh-huh.
And like Claude's like, sweet, like good job, guys. Three things. Here's what I'm gonna do right now. Here's the Alliance. It's back under the kingdom's control right now. Everyone agrees. I'm disbanding the Alliance. Here's Failnaught. Here's Failnaught.
Yeah.
Here's my bow. Oh, and bye. And he leaves. He leaves.
Wow.
Like, Claude appears twice in Azure Moon. One at the Battle of Gronder, obviously.
Yeah.
Where I will say accidentally massacred every single Golden Deer student because they attacked me.
Oh yeah, accidentally.
Raphael chose to run at Felix. I'm sorry. I can't stop you. I can't save you at that point. I can't save you at that point when you choose to run towards the crit-happy murder machine that is Felix.
It also doesn't help that. Like, apparently also in your case, the Golden Deer also were very weak.
I mean, obviously compared to my characters, I would say
maybe that was what it was. Maybe I was just I was piloting the Golden Deer and you were piloting the
no. Trust
when we were playing.
Trust me. If that was the kid. If you were doing an accurate Golden Deer, you would have had a Lysithea nuking everyone.
Yeah, but I wasn't.
You're irrelevant.
I was. Oh yeah, that's what she says.
Yeah, that's one of her lines. You're irrelevant.
Oh,
before proceeding to nuke someone.
Oh yeah, I think I heard that one. I haven't gotten I think I heard that once while playing because rarely get the chance to crit if their people are dead. But also...
I will say I love the uses of Sylvain's open wide.
Dude, it's an anime. Well, it's a day sim with anime fights open wide.
Open wide, just like my boy, my beautiful skirt chasing boy.
Oh my god!
Fun fact: if you're playing as a female Byleth, if you can just recruit them to either the Golden Deer or Black Eagles.
Oh
he'll just accept. No requirements needed whatsoever.
Oh
just be a woman.
Goodness, just be a woman.
just have a nope. About to get a little too graphically detailed, but just be a woman.
Just wear shorts and not pants.
I mean, female Byleth is very adorable.
I will I will be honest, she's attractive.
One of the DLC outfits that I have is like that both of them have an academy uniform,
Hmm.
and oh boy, I put the academy uniform on both of them, and I saw it on female bio, like, oh my gosh, that's adorable. I
I
love it. She looks so cute.
I will say I am glad that I did like re-pick up the game and I didn't try to like I tried to make everything as I like set out everything up as I set up with my friend when I played it for one session. Like I just got to the point where I like when I was playing, I got to after the first fight and I chose my class and I think I had one battle after that and then I had to leave.
Hmm.
But I am glad I didn't set up everything because like I had a running gag like you could like like some uniforms you could have them like all in like maid and butler outfits.
Yeah,
I just like made it my mission to like get as many people everyone in my house to wear maid and butler
nice,
outfits. But I am glad I
nice.
didn't do that because the other outfits were much better. I just did that for the sillies.
Yeah, yeah. It's always you always do that for the silly stuff, but yeah.
So you talked about like your critiques on it. So on the video. So like how about like
Hmm.
a little bit of positive affirmation for myself? Like what was your
No, I
favorite
mean,
part of it?
well, I mean, the history of the Lords, I guess, was pretty funny.
That
That
was a
was really.
nightmare to
I bet
edit.
it was, but it was so good. Like it was really good. Like you did a really good job with that.
Well, thank you. It took literal weeks,
I I
like
bet it did.
taking a break to go for my run, drink, pee, and
I bet
and
it
like
did. I
like
bet it
that's
did. But
so like that's your
that
favorite part. Like what exactly
it,
about just like the quick stuff.
I love the entire history of the world, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Like I love that video and just like
I don't
that
anymore. After spending so much time listening to the sound effects.
like I don't know what it was, but it's just like I loved that video. It
Mhm.
just like the humor resonated with me. Like I really felt the humor. Like it was like my kind of humor. It's just like bam, 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 silly joke, bam, 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 silly joke, bam, bam,
Song.
bam, silly. It was just good. It just random things happening. It was a very funny video. And yes, that is definitely one of the better one. Definitely one of the best parts of the video.
Uh-huh.
Um, I do also believe that you did a really good job, like emphasizing the entire point of the whole point of your video of like, hey, here's what I'm talking about and why it works. You know?
Did a good job making it clear on what I'm actually talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
I do get
Like
quite a bit of comments like from my first video that that was a problem with it. That not too many people could
well,
follow what it was.
happens. It's like you said, that was your first
I'm
one.
not hearing a
It
no.
I was under I got it. I got what the video was.
Uh-uh.
Like I got like I understood what you were talking about. It was very much the case of like we are praising this game when original like we like it's like this like, it was very much a case like you were going through like it's a loophole of like we look at this game with like critique and scorn, but then years later we praise it as like, oh yeah, it was a great game.
Uh-huh.
Or vice versa. It's been a while since I've seen it, but like
Yeah,
I got it.
that's pretty much it, yeah.
I understood what you were trying to get. It's just like it's very much a cycle of like either
Opinions.
going from it was it's very much the case. It's very much like it was. Yeah, I understood what you were trying to go for. Like
Mhm.
I understood the topic of the video, and you made your point. I got it. I will say that's something that you are that out of the three you are quite good with, at least to me. Like I can follow along and understand. Like okay, no, I get it. I get the point he's trying to make.
Oh, yeah. It got the 3 videos like this one, was it?
Like out of out of the Tears of the Kingdom one,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Majora's Mask one, Majora's Mask one, and now the Three Houses one. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I can follow. I follow along and I can follow along and understand like the topic you're trying to go for and I understand like, oh, this is why he chose to do this. It makes sense. Like, I
Mhm.
get I can follow. I follow along with all that. Yeah, yeah, no, I
Alright,
got it.
alright. Well,
Yeah.
that's nice to hear. I will say, I think my favorite bit was firstly, when I first started editing the video, yes, the beginning bit was funny,
Mhm.
singing singing Nemesis in my cartoon face, but
That was
I
hilarious.
uh,
That was hilarious. Just like big, intimidating nemesis, cutesy little you.
just my face. Oh gosh, now I gotta make that a soundbite just you saying cutesy little you. All right, But but I did, listen to the intro so many times, just now let's talk about the real heartbreaker, then the Smash Bros. Fire Emblem maybe it was just because I love the song, but, I
Oh,
thought, that was very s
that is that is something that is incredibly consistent across all games I've played, all of the Fire Emblem games.
yeah.
Soundtrack is top tier.
That's just, I think, for Nintendo in general, at this
That's
point,
fair.
it's not even, worth, talking about, music as, in a critical sense, like music with Nintendo games, because probably 9.9 times out of 10, they are absolute bangers.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there are some examples I can think of, but those are just some of the. It's just there's just some from Pokemon from a lot of the newer Pokemon games. I'm just like, for every handful of meh
Mhm.
they have like much more just like good
Yeah.
stuff. I will listen to repeat.
They do know what they're doing, but sometimes it does fall a little flat.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But so I would say my actual favorite part of it was when I was talking about after I drew the comparison to the Russian Revolution and
Hmm.
right before the Joker said what when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, and then just having that send home the point, it happens not just in games, but the fact that on how this game, you know, demonstrates in real life, whether or not it's something extreme as a war, but it could just be in friend groups as well. Like you see all the time, just friends have friends have just one simple disagreement, uh, and sometimes it's fine. Like they could play it off and then they move on. But there's gonna be one point where it's something that they're not willing to back down from, and then they just build walls.
Hmm.
And I really loved that part of it. Like that was my
No,
favorite.
I also did like the little bit of the you like kind of equating to what fire like fire where how it came up into like a pretty rough time in your life and how it
Yeah,
kind of will Bernie be like if you were to play another game, is
yeah.
Bernie going to be your choice for romance or are you going to pick another one?
I don't know. I wasn't originally gonna be going for Bernie as to romance.
I believe you originally told me you were thinking of Marianne.
Yes, I was thinking Marianne because just when I was looking at the character details and of all the characters trying to get a rundown so I could get attached to them. Because again, thought it
Mhm.
was a dating sim, so just we just filtering through the files. Uh,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
looking at the selection, I feel so trashy to saying it like that. Uh, but
No, I mean, it's all
B
good.
yeah, and I just I go to the part where see, likes and dislikes, like, some people like cake and some people dislike this specific kind of tea, but then, I see, Marianne, oh, did she like dancing? Yeah, she liked dancing.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, she liked dancing, but then I saw, dislikes herself, and, I'm like, "Oh, no." It wasn't like I was yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't it I definitely wasn't, planning on romancing her, but I knew, if I were to continue with what I was planning, it would end up with me romancing her, just because, I
Mhm.
didn't wanna, I wasn't planning on romancing Marianne, but I was just planning on, trying to help out just because, I think she would need a friend.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've told you this before, but you know that she does not appear in the war phase if you don't recruit her.
Really?
Yeah, she does not.
So
She doesn't appear.
either she doesn't make it or she just doesn't show up.
It's kind of
Yeah, probably
implied that
something else. She doesn't make it for due to herself.
You're implying she
Self-deleted.
yeah, self-deleted.
Oh gosh.
Like she doesn't appear at all
That
unless you recruit her. And I found that out. I found that I didn't find that out in game. I found that out looking it up. Like I found that out on the wiki information about Marianne because like I want to recruit her because I've
oh
mainly because I
yeah.
had read I had read the support conversations between her and Demetrius just like this seems wholesome. I want her on the team.
Oh yeah.
And I was reading through the wiki on how to recruit her, and I got to that point where it was like she just doesn't show up. I'm just like, oh,
That I it just shows like how real this game is. The fact that it's not technically just a
yeah,
dating sim. Like it gets
it
deep and
is.
it's
I
definitely like it's not
I
like
will.
Doki Doki
I
Literature Club where it's secretly a horror game, but it does have the similar effect
I
where it subverts your expectations and the fact on how real it
mhm.
is.
I will say you probably do get the dating sim idea but that's just kind of what Fire Emblem is post
Yeah.
awakening.
Yeah. Well
Like
well that's what I was
like
told. That's what I
yeah,
was always told when I asked what it was.
post awakening Fire Emblem is very much like awakening onward is very much like yeah, this can be seen as a dating sim, but I've played through like older games
Mhm.
and they don't really focus on like there's not the biggest focus mainly because you're not in Avatar, like you
Yeah.
don't play as
You don't play as a self-insertive you play as a
yeah,
character.
yeah, in Fire Emblem 7 you're playing as you technically are playing as like an avatar except you do nothing in terms of you don't participate in any of the battles, but like you're just a faceless nothing
Yeah.
when it comes to that. Experience you play it's more people more you play as Lynn, you play as Elliewood, you play as Hector, like you
Mhm.
play as those characters. Fire Emblem 8, it's Erica and Ephraim. 9 and 10 is Ike. 11 is Marth.
Mhm.
Like you have proper characters that you play as. So kind of like the whole idea of it being a dating sim isn't really there. Like you do
Yeah.
have the support conversations
Mhm.
are still there, but it's not like oh yes, my waifu or like that.
Yeah, yeah, and that was one thing that was like keeping
But
me like aside from just the determination to complete it and to like be better than the person who introduced me to the game. But like it was just like all just like out of fun competitiveness at first. But like
yeah.
like it but like that was something that was keeping me like hooked on it, just wondering because the only experience with dating simulators I have is just ones that like for some reason all my girl friends like they all love those and they force me to play those with them. uh but
Mm,
but they're like the amount of times I played Doki Doki Literature Club because one of them like forced me to play
mm.
that with them.
That's not a dating sim.
I
That's
know it's
more of
not
just
it's not.
that's just that's just a game. That's just like that's more of a horror game than anything.
It's not more of a
It
horror game, it
looks
is
like
a horror game.
yeah, it looks like it comes off as a dating sim, but
Well,
oh
yeah, well, that was,
no,
like,
it's
the
not.
point. Yeah, that was the
I mean,
point, like, it subverts your because no matter what, you have the same ending with the same story well, no matter what, it's, like, the same
yeah,
story, but, like, you have, you have slightly different stuff, but, like, it is a horror game.
yeah. Yeah, a big thing in a lot of JRPGs is the whole romance options. Like
Yeah.
that's the case in you know awakening era onward. Fire like the more modern day Fire Emblems. Persona is big
Mhm.
on it. Like a lot of it, and it adds a fun little like just I guess side quest in
Yeah.
the whole scheme of things. Like you don't have to, but you can.
Yeah. Well, and so like that was the thing. So I like again, I was expecting this to be a dating simulator and just like what like no matter like whoever like I just do like who like try to get everyone's on everyone's good side, like A only. Uh, uh okay, actually that sounds kind of A class only. Uh
Yep, a support only.
A support only. That's uh but so I'm just like do like and then I do these support conversations like it's their birthday and then like you get to treat them to stuff and then you get the support conversations and I'm just like, huh, these aren't actually these aren't actually too deep. Like this is actually a slow burn on stuff. Like it's not like the normal RPG stuff where you come across as like flirtatious. Like you're actually just genuinely just trying to help these people. And like
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
no.
just and like that was the thing. Like
Well,
again like
I mean, you're their teacher.
yeah,
Like
well
that's
yeah,
the
that's
whole
what it is. Like
thing.
you are
Like,
their teacher, but like there are like people have made stuff like that before, like where you're their teacher, but like you're trying to be with the students. Uh,
hey, they're technically not your students by the end of it.
well, so
Let's let's be real here. Am I lying? Am I lying? They are technically no longer your students once the war starts.
That is a good point. That is a good point. But like again, I did not. So like it was just like of how real it was and how like I find like majority of the stuff like this stuff like I find this stuff like very trashy and stuff like when it comes to like dating simulators like I find those hence why everyone wants to get me to play them because I don't really like it. Uh like because I just find like I like
Mhm.
find that stuff like rather trashy and stuff, but then I'm just like why am like I'm not like disgusted by this like I'm not like cringing at the seams like majority of the time when I see this stuff. And then the fact like it shows the support combos with characters not with
Yeah,
other characters that
with the
aren't just
NPCs,
yeah,
yeah.
the other NPCs and not you. And like that
Like the
like
whole
I'm just like wondering like what is going on here? And then I
I mean, the
realized
whole
when Gerald died, like, oh, this isn't a dating sim, is it?
I mean, a big thing about the support conversations, it's very much the main thing it offers two things. One, a deeper insight into the characters.
Yeah.
Like it very much like strengthens like the character like a character's personality, how they
Hmm.
would like, how they interact with like, oh, how would like it very much, I'll use an example. Why are Sylvain like how are Sylvain and Felix actually still friends? Because
Yeah.
they are two incredibly different people
Yeah. Yeah.
who realistically should have nothing. But you go through the support conversations, despite the fact that it's like Sylvain is a laid back, skirt
Mhm.
chaser,
Yeah.
where Felix is this edgelord.
Yeah. Yeah. Very friend. Oh wait, no, I'm
um
thinking of someone else. I was thinking of
where Felix
I was
is
thinking of Hubert, just like very friendly expression
Hubert
there.
Hubert is also an edgelord,
Yeah.
but he's a bit more he's definitely a bit more on the creepy side.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Again, I haven't played them.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Uh-huh.
uh his support conversation with Bernadette are hilarious.
Oh, are they?
Oh, they're pretty funny because it's just there's a moment where I think their first one, like Bernie's like, the anxiety ridden mess that she
Mm-hmm,
is. She's
mm-hmm.
so scared of Hubert, she faints standing up.
Oh my.
And Hubert's just like, well, I guess well then, I guess I'll leave. Like, just like, all right. He's just like, alrighty then, and just leaves. Yeah. No, yeah, like that. But yeah, it like, and they also offer a in-game like stat bonus because like when like the stronger the support level between two characters,
Yeah.
they'll get like a better stat when they're like right next to each other on the
Again, I did not
battlefield.
realize that. I just thought like you grew stronger in your relationships with them when you stood like I thought that heart like they're like whoop. I thought
That's
that
what
was
it
just like you
is.
grow that was just you growing
It
stronger in your
raises
relationship
it
with them.
raises it raises support points. Yes, it raises like that is one way to raise
Yeah,
support
but I
points.
didn't know it had anything to do in combat
Like
until now.
yeah, no. Yeah, oh, till now. Oh
Until
my.
now, I did not know that.
No, yes, characters that have support ranks are going to be stronger when they fight when they are going to give stat bonuses to the other.
Yeah, my group was literally hanging together by the power of friendship, and it wasn't that strong.
It wasn't working because they weren't strong enough to back it up.
Exactly.
It
was the power of acquaintances.
No, it was definitely friendship. Sadly, just the enemy's stats were greater than friendship.
Yeah.
Promote those classes.
Yeah, I do plan on doing that whenever I pick it back up again.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
What?
It's just the fact of like
How did you beat the game?
yes, a lot of it is just me sitting here like, and you beat Nemesis.
On hard mode.
On hard mode.
I beat Nemesis on hard mode. Like when I beat
Somehow.
Nemesis, it was midnight, and the first thing I did, I messaged you.
Oh yeah,
Just
you
like
did.
I did it. And I sent screenshots for proof, as if you wouldn't believe
Yes.
me.
I don't think I would have not. I'm pretty sure I would have.
Yeah, the fact that I got 2 Nemesis from where I was, got to have beaten him at some point.
The fact that you learned halfway through the war phase, like, oh, have you been promoting your
Not even
your
halfway,
characters?
like 3/3.
But,
Like
but the so like, have you been promoted? Like you were like struggling, just like, well, what promotion? Like what classes? Like what classes are your characters at? Like the starting class? I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
And you're like in the end game.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah,
how? I laid out like you should be promoting them to better classes.
I'm like, bless you. Gesundheit. I have no idea how I got there, but
I don't know either, but you did somehow with everyone still being noble or commoner, except for Byleth and Claude.
Yeah, yep.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here with everyone at like advanced and master classes. Like we're doing just fine.
I will say it is cruising way more smoothly when I started my replay and I actually started focusing on class promotions and stuff.
I bet mainly because you realize this isn't a dating sim.
Again, yeah. Little did I know, like my perception of what this game was, like caused it to be so hard. Like I literally, it literally took me like I wasn't like I didn't like take a break or like with actual like gameplay wise, I probably was playing for like around a year. Like even like subtracting the breaks I took because of like real life stuff and just get like eventually just like rage quitting then coming back. Like it took me about a year because of how long like how many tries and attempts I took on fighting things and I didn't know like you could pray to like that statue, so like I only had like 5 divine pulses until then. And then I'm like, what?
You also didn't. Like, you also didn't know paralogs exist.
Yeah, I totally didn't know what those are. And I totally know what those are now.
So when there'll be a certain day, so there'll be I don't know when it is, but
you have like you could like do an optional battle and like get stuff.
Yeah, there's optional battles that give rewards, and they're based off the different characters.
I knew what those were. Like I knew that those were other battles, and I thought they would just get you like I don't know, like some kind of food or something. Like I didn't know that they would give you like hero relics.
They give you heroes relics, and you get one, and it's technically the one for Sothis.
Yeah.
And that increases your divine pulses.
Oh, yeah. The only other hero relic I got that wasn't like
you had Failnaught and the Sword of the Creator.
I had Failnaught, the Sword of the Creator, and like I ruined Failnaught, like I broke Failnaught like after like the first 3 combats, and then I tried resting like so many times, like because that's how you replenish the Sword of the Creator, but. But Failnaught didn't come back, so I couldn't repair Failnaught.
So am I hearing that you didn't know about the blacksmith either?
No, well, I knew of it, but I knew it was there, but I didn't know its function.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and then like I eventually found out.
Do I need to? Do I need to sit down with you and explain everything?
I just need you to sit down and hold my hand while I play.
Do I need to do that? Do we need to do that?
Probably. but like I knew it was there, but I didn't know its actual function. Like again, I just thought it was like you buy and sell weapons that you get on the field.
Yeah, so you also can repair weapons. You can upgrade weapons. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, but I got the impression, like, since they were hero relics, that, like, you couldn't really repair them. I thought that they
there.
would replenish, because
If
it
you
said, like, with the
so
Sword of the Creator, it said, like, when you rest it, you replenish it. So, like, I thought that worked for everyone, but
that
it just didn't work.
that's only for the Sword of the Creator because it's Byleth's main
Yeah.
weapon that
Yeah.
you. Yeah, so when you battle demonic beasts, if you manage to break their armor, it
Mhm.
will drop the material that you need to repair the hero's relics.
Uh-huh.
Make sure you do that because during my first playthrough, I had a very unlucky activation of Dimitri's crest,
Oh, yeah?
which while it increases the damage he deals, um, at the cost of durability.
Oh.
So Eridbar broke,
Oh, yeah?
and I only and like after and I realized like, oh, I should have been focusing more on like breaking the demonic beast's
Mhm.
armor because I did manage to repair it.
Yeah.
But oh boy, was that like okay, am I going to be able to repair this for the final battle? I did, thankfully, but it was like very much like a like, ooh, I should be smarter. Like,
Yeah. Well, so I had Failnaught, the Sword of the Creator, and then Failnaught broke, and I couldn't do anything about it because I was in the final battle, and
mhm.
and so I did one of those battles, and I got like I was like the only one I could get was where you got Marianne's hero relic.
Oh, Blue Tiag.
Yeah, yeah, I got that one. Which then
Yeah,
again, it was very helpful because there were a lot of demonic beasts, but I didn't get any of
yeah.
those stuff by
I
breaking
mean,
it. I didn't
it's
get that
also a
stuff, so
decent
I
weapon.
couldn't. Well, yeah,
It's also a
it's a
decent
decent one.
weapon. It's also a decent because it uses magic instead of strength.
Yeah,
So
but you know what I did with it. I couldn't use it with Marianne because Marianne dies, so I move in.
yep,
So and Fail Nuts broken, so I just gave it to Dimitri.
the Claude. You
But no,
mean?
yeah, yeah, Claude, thank you. I gave it to Claude.
Yeah, so, word of advice: you might look at those shiny heroes relics and think they're a good, and they can be a good and they can be a good instant delete button.
Yeah.
Make sure they have other weapons. Like Dimitri had like three different lances on him. He had a silver lance, a killer lance, and Eridbar. Like
Well, yeah.
I had this man stocked with weapons. It's just like, all right, because like, is he attacking someone? Here's the silver lance. Is
Uh-huh.
he going to? Do I want him to walk into the middle of a bunch of enemies and kill them?
Mhm.
Yes, I do. Have the killer lance, so you crit and murder everyone.
I did get that. I did figure that out eventually, and Byleth had so many well, also had Wodao.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like like you may get the Sword of the Creator. Like, yeah, it's a good weapon, but at the same time, like keep a deep like
Yeah, I was definitely
have a
saving
decent
this. Like at that point, I was like, I
have like
memorized
yeah
the fighters, the enemies on the field. Like which ones would I be able to actually take, or which ones would I need to use the Sword of the Creator? Because I was rationing because I'm like, I'm gonna need the Sword of the Creator to fight Nemesis.
yeah. But yeah, like make like for like all the characters, like for like when I got like the heroes relics for Sylvain and Ingrid, like I still made sure they had like other lances,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
so I wasn't burning through the lance of Rune and Luen
Hmm.
like too quickly because like these are good weapons. I should make sure these are needed when I need them. It's
Yeah.
like even when Annette got Crusher, I was just like, we're gonna stick to magic and a bolt axe for you. By the way, yes, the little tiny mage of the Blue Lions, her signature weapon's a hammer. It's
I
just a
see.
big hammer.
I see.
Yes, just like yes, good magic girl with hammer. uh,
So, when did you feel when did you uh when did you feel like the House War stopped being a game and became personal?
mm, like personal how? Like
Well,
explain that a bit better.
I guess like it was kind of answered earlier, like when you were just like when you got to turn just when it hit you the most, like when the game. resonate with you the most? Kind of like when you like it was like when you got like the determination because it hit you, and I guess like you kind of answered it, but like it could be a slightly different
Well,
answer because like it was like
oh,
when you noticed Dimitri and Edelgard were step siblings, but
that was like that one was a big moment to kind of like really dig
that's
in
when
and
you
go like,
got
let's see.
interested.
That's why I got interested. But like, definitely like knowing that and seeing like, I feel like for what you're asking about for
Uh-huh.
that, it was because for Dimitri, he
Mhm.
gets a special cutscene when Edelgard is unmasked as the Flame Emperor. He gets like a proper
Yeah.
he gets a proper cutscene where you see him go off the deep
Yeah, I
end.
put that cutscene a couple times in the video.
He goes, oh, that's the moment you see the lad snap.
That was the
And
straw
I'm
that
just
broke.
like,
That was the straw that broke
and
Eli's
I'm,
back.
and I'm just like, oh, it's going
I am
down.
glad I am behind him.
It was a good thing. It was very much a case of just like, I'm glad I'm on this side of the room.
Exactly. We can settle this diplomatically and like calmly, or we can settle it in a violent way where I'm standing over there.
I will take your head from your shoulders and mount it from the gates of Endbar! It's like, okay, I'm glad I'm on his side.
I like looked up like Fire Emblem Three Houses male all cutscenes and like just watching him like, oh my gosh. And then and then just like the first time I play the video, like there's happy music playing over it like in the video.
Is this some kind of twisted joke?
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah.
that cutscene was just like a yes, give me more of that good story.
Good soup.
Good story. Give me more of that good story. Like that was
Uh-huh.
very much a big moment. And yeah, to kind of watch and kind of go through like the whole scores of the battle, watching Dimitri go from the oh boy, the rampaging murderous monster that he was to not back to how he was, but probably as true as he could be.
Uh-huh.
Like, and kind of seeing him like attempting to like giving one last chance
Hmm.
to end things between him and Edelgard peacefully because they are family. And he was
Yes.
very much like, I like it was very much because like I will, but I really would rather not.
Yeah.
And it very much came to the
It's gonna hurt me more than it's
and
gonna hurt
even
you. Then again, you're gonna be dead, so you won't be
and,
feeling much later.
and even till the very end, he'd offered his hand out, but Edelgard knew that there was no way the two of them could coexist,
Hmm.
and very much wanted Dimitri to forge his own path, and promptly returned his dagger that he offered Edelgard to do the same thing.
Yeah. Put it close to his heart.
Yeah, yeah, I get that, but
Well,
it,
you
like
know what I mean?
it's
Threw it at his heart.
it his shoulder.
Well, yeah, but close to his heart.
Yeah. But it was still it was still a symbolic like
Yeah.
it's still a symbolic returning of when Dimitri gave Edelgard the dagger, he told her to cut her own path.
Yeah.
And Edelgard is essentially telling Dimitri to do the same thing in that final moment, to
Uh-huh.
cut his own path.
It was very hard when like with Edelgard's death, like when I experienced it. Not hard like it was emotional. I was being honest in the video with my with my reactions
I
to
bet.
it.
I
That
bet.
was
I
me
bet. I
honestly
bet.
being like
I
that.
bet. I will say that you know that they use that cutscene in Silver Snow as well.
Oh yeah?
It makes a lot more sense in Silver Snow though. You know why?
Because you actually have an
You're
idea.
actually her teacher.
Yeah.
She calls you. She says the whole "my teacher" thing, and just like as I'm playing through Verdant, when I'm just like, I wasn't your teacher.
Yeah, and she's like, I wanted to walk with you. I only had like 3 conversations with you.
And she says it's just the same thing. I'm just like I chose the deer. I it wasn't the case of I didn't
Hmm.
teach the eagles and then side with Rhea. Like I was at a completely different class,
Yeah.
Edelgard. Did we accidentally hit you too hard on the head or something?
Did I hit you too hard in the head? Here, let me hit you again. Maybe that'll jog your memory. Oops, that was definitely too hard.
Let me fix it.
Uh-oh, I think I made it worse.
But yeah, no, like there are like I will definitely say it is not a flawless perfect game.
Yeah.
No Fire Emblem game is
No
flawless and
game,
perfect.
no game, nothing is perfect.
That is correct. So I mean, I will definitely say there are. I will point out the flaws in various chapters, various different routes. I feel like Crimson Flowers could have been longer. It's the shortest route.
Oh, is it?
Like it is the shortest route. I think it's less than 20 chapters, like including the academy phase. It's less than 20 chapters.
Oh, really? Wow.
I could have felt that Silver Snow and Verdant Wind could have differed a bit more than just 2 maps. And I will say, as much as I love Dimitri's story, the turn is a little rushed.
Oh, is it?
Like him returning to being
normal.
Normal, air quotes, like him
healing,
returning,
getting over it.
Yes, him kind of healing is it does feel a little rushed, but it's like I get it, but it's still a good story.
Yeah,
it's still a good story. So yeah, well, I will happily point out the flaws, and I am not one of those people who will vehemently defend my house lord like some people do.
Yeah.
Looking at no, I'm not talking about you. I'm kidding. There is have you ever heard the meme of Edelgard did nothing wrong?
No, I haven't. But that does make me feel like whoever said that doesn't really know what they're talking about.
It's a mentality used by people who obviously picked Black Eagles and sided with Edelgard. And very much, I don't know if at this point, I don't know if it's like how serious they mean by it, but they definitely, but there's definitely at a point like people are like, oh yeah, she did nothing wrong, and I'm pretty sure they mean it. And I'm sitting here like, well, no, she did a lot wrong. I'm not saying she's, however, I still like her as a character. She's still a nuanced and interesting character, but no, she did wrong. She did a lot wrong.
Everyone did a lot wrong in this situation.
Everyone did a lot wrong. Yeah, no, everyone except maybe Claude.
Yeah, Claude did nothing wrong.
Well, I mean,
I could say that.
Out of all of them, Claude is the least problematic.
He has the cleanest hands.
Dimitri goes full murder hobo. Edelgard declares war on everyone, and then Claude
goes with Mr. Clean's magic eraser.
Well, Claude still wants to leave. Like
he wants to break down the borders, but he doesn't want to burn everything and reset.
Yeah. Like a big thing is like, yeah, like you'll in almost every route, Claude just leaves Foldland.
Yeah, peace out.
In every route. He just, or I think in Silver Snow he may have died. I don't know.
Oh, really?
He just disappeared.
Yeah.
He just disappears after the battle at Gronder.
Did Jet just die? It wasn't really ever clear.
Yeah. Yeah, he disappears. So it's it's either assumed he's dead or not. I don't know. I know Dimitri dies in every route that is in Blue Lions.
Yeah.
Same with Edelgard.
Everyone that is in Blue Lions.
Every route that isn't Azure Moon, and Edelgard dies in every route that isn't Crimson Flowers.
Yeah.
Well, short lifespan.
Yeah. Which of these three routes do you actually think best reflects real life conflict and resolution, or lack thereof? Because there is no golden ending. There is no
golden ending. Something that
there's no golden ending. There's just golden deer.
Very brief tangent that I'll go on. It's a big reason why I think Three Houses is probably viewed a lot better than Fates.
Yeah. Because
Fates has a similar branching storyline.
Yeah.
except Fate has a, what it can be considered as a good path, which
Yeah.
is seen more towards Birthright. Conquest, which is more of the evil path, and then Revelations, which is the neutral golden ending.
Yeah.
The neutral golden route. The golden route has a lot of, like, I haven't played it. I can't play it because it's downloadable content
Oh,
to
and you
play
can't get it.
Revelations. And I got Fates a little too late. The
Yeah, you
eShop
can't.
was
Yeah.
already shut. The eShop was already shut down when I got it. So I was like,
Mhm.
I only got Birthright and Conquest. Speaking of Conquest, if I were to pick Crimson Flowers or Conquest for a better villain route, for a better like antagonist route,
Yeah.
Crimson Flowers. Because I don't know what mental gymnastics Corrin is doing in their head when it comes to trusting
Oh.
the conquest, the side for Conquest. But oh my, I believe Byleth's side. I can believe Byleth siding with Edelgard.
Uh-huh.
I can see and believe why Byleth would pick any route. I can like I can see why Byleth would, like, when it comes to that, when it comes to like the split between siding with Rey and siding with Edelgard. I can
Yeah.
see both. I can see Byleth siding with both.
I'm totally gonna understand what you're talking about when I play that.
You will. I can see Byleth siding with both. I can't see why
I see
Corrin
blood.
sides. I can't see why Corrin sides with the Norians.
Uh-huh. So then which one do you think like best reflects like real life conflict? Conflict resolution.
It's the whole, I feel like for the whole point of there being no golden route, like that's the whole point. Like a golden route is supposed to be like a golden route, obviously,
They'll
if
hold hands and
everything
say
was
goodbye.
perfect. Yeah. But it's hard for me. I don't think any of the routes are realistic
Yeah.
because there's a huge problem with it, with I can kind of see with like the whole idea is I want you to imagine how different the cultures of Adrestia, Fargus, and Leicester are.
Yeah.
How different they have to be. If one like okay, I think if I were to say the one that would probably be the most realistic, it would probably be Silver Snow,
Yeah.
because that's not one side ruling over the entire thing.
Yeah.
It's all sides being like more strongly unified under the church. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I think that's kind of like
'Cause,
Verdant
like,
Wind, but just without the church.
well, Verdant Wind, it's more Verdant. The thing, yeah, I mean, both end with Byleth becoming the new monarch of a united Foland.
Yeah.
It's just Verdant Wind, the deer, like Lester took over everything.
That's true.
Like technically, like the whole of Foland for at the end of Verdant Wind is united under Lester. And I think, and I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering some endings I've read, and remember, I think Daedru becomes like the new capital of this united Fodlan, like the center of the, like, I think, the capital of the Alliance becomes the capital for everything. If I'm remembering correctly, of course.
Yeah.
Like, so I guess like realistically Silver Snow, because that's like the church, it's like the one, because like, the one that was kind of calling the shots, before this happened was the church, and now the one still calling the shots is the church, just more
so it's
official.
It's more realistic because things stayed similar to as it was before, just when after all the stuff happens, like things stayed.
Kind of. It was very like, to me, like it would be the most, I guess, seamless transition, like, because here's like I can list off like the whole big thing. It's like Adrestia, Fargus, or Lester takes over like the entire thing. The people of Fargus, Adrestia, and Lester each have different like opinions and ideologies.
Yeah.
it's like, can you really expect, like, how easy, like, realistically, like, how easy would it be for, these
Yeah.
three countries to realistically, like, yep, you should be fine with this now, with, like, you're
Uh-huh.
like, if I'm thinking of this as, like, a realistic standpoint, like, I feel like the most realistic outcome would probably be the one with siding with the church,
Yeah.
because it's very much these three powers are going to war, and then a kind of a neutral nation rises up.
Uh-huh.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
At least
yeah.
that's what at least just by kind of thinking about how it would realistically go, that's the outcome I get.
Mhm. So you think that one best, like, reflects, like, the real life conflict resolution just because of how, like, realistic it actually is?
I
Like,
kind
again,
of
like, the best
like
does not like, saying the best out of these options does not mean,
like
like, it
I'd
is
say
accurate. It's just saying which of these.
I,
Yeah.
I mean, another thing would be like, probably the other one, like the most realistic one, would probably be the Empire coming out on top because they're
Yeah.
the biggest.
Yeah.
Because it's the biggest. It's the biggest of like the
Oh
three. So
gosh.
like realistically,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, sorry. Bump my microphone.
so, so yeah, like realistically, like Adressia would realistically be able to steamroll the other two and take over from there.
Yeah.
So that would probably be like probably the more realistic option.
Mhm, mhm.
But like the whole big thing, like you have to realize, like the whole problem is, plot MacGuffin. I mean Byleth.
Yeah. Whichever
Plot
one
device
Violet is on.
MacGuffin. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the whole point. Like,
What when you spend your entire life preparing your cause, then you look and you see your enemy has Byleth.
oh no.
It's just like I don't know if I'll put this in because of the title of it itself, but like like one of my uncle's favorite videos, you could probably guess uh what it's basically about just because it's my uncle, but it's like Hitler learns Chuck Norris is coming.
Oh yeah, I like that video too.
It's very similar to that. Just like you're like if you're like if you're just like a soldier like in the Adrestian Empire, not. I think I probably just mixed two
No, but
different
like,
things, but
no, but yeah, I get what you're saying. But
yeah.
like, think about it. Like, for 5 years, like the 5 years that Byleth was taking a nap,
Uh huh. Yeah.
who's in the strongest position?
The Empire.
The Empire. And if Byleth, like, let's say, from the position of the kingdom, which is out of the three, the one that's doing the worst
Yeah.
in all forms, because you got Claude trying, because when it comes down to it, Claude's still in power.
Yeah.
He's still like, yeah, I like have half of Leicester that's like loyal to me, and I'm trying my best to like kind of like
Mhm.
do some damage control because Lawrence and his stupid mug, is going for the Empire.
Yeah. Yep.
And
I
then
might be a Golden Deer supporter, but I definitely agree that Lawrence does have a stupid mug.
and then, the Empire practically owns like most of the kingdom. Like there's only just a little bit of there's only like a little bit that's like able to
Mhm. It,
muster a rebellion and kind of
it's just like America and Canada. Like Canada's like size wise. I mean.
yeah. But yeah, like when you come to as Byleth in Azure Moon,
Yeah.
Dimitri is in no way, shape, or form king. Like
Uh
he is
huh.
not king. He's just and he is
A
because like
warrior.
there's a puppet leader in Ferdiad for the Empire. Like so essentially, like the Empire owns most of the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Dimitri is nothing more than a lone man,
Mm-hmm.
a one-man army, true, but still a lone man.
Mm-hmm.
And you manage to, from what meager forces you have between you, your students, and anyone else you manage to, any of the knights of Saros that you recruited,
Yeah.
are able to claw your way back through.
Yeah.
However, moments like, Verdant Wind and Silver Snow showcase why Byleth is such a important figure.
Yeah.
Because what happens to Dimitri in both of those? He is this savage monster obsessed with revenge to the point that he dies
Yeah.
trying to chase Edelgard after Gronder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's very much a case of like Byleth is the key to this.
Yeah.
So I feel like the way to look at it realistically is to take Byleth out of the equation, and I genuinely believe that it would have been the Empire succeeding. But
Yeah.
that's just due to the fact that the Empire has the biggest this
Mhm.
biggest army.
So which one would you think would have been like the best example, like if it were to be put as an example? I mean, they're all bad choices, but like if they were to be like the best
They'll
example of how to uh uh do deal with conflict resolution. Like yes, they're all pretty bad choices when it comes.
I will say that this might be my bias showing, but the fact that Claude doesn't do it, Claude doesn't, Sedith doesn't, and Edelgard doesn't really. The fact that Dimitri tries for diplomacy, he tries to offer that. Like that is the one thing
Mm-hmm.
that is different between all the others is Dimitri attempts to end it peacefully.
Yeah.
The others do not go for that route, at least as far as I can remember. The others are kind of dead set and like we need.
I do remember it a little bit differently, but then again, that could be my bias showing.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, it's been a long time since
Yeah.
I've picked up the game. I've
Like,
been
like
playing
I do
I've been
I
playing other Fire Emblem
yeah.
games.
I can't think that yeah, I don't think Claude tried diplomacy, probably because he thought that probably because he had a feeling no one would listen to diplomacy.
At that maybe not, but like the whole thing of like at the end, like you don't like when it comes down to it, like Dimitri, like I know that when playing through as Crimson Flowers, you have a choice of whether or not you spare or kill Claude.
Hmm.
You don't get a choice to kill Claude and Azure Moon. He's like, okay, sweet, you helped me out. Bye.
Yeah. You don't get
And
a
then
chance to kill
Dimitri
Claude and bear to win.
no, of course you don't. But
How
like
about
it's
that as a
very
turn?
much
You kill your lord.
well, I mean that's kind of what Silver Snow's about. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But like the fact that Dimitri attempts, like very much like he even says like, yeah, I'm fairly certain this isn't going to work.
But worth a
I
shot.
still I still want to give it a try because she's my stepsister.
Uh-huh.
Like like she is literally the only bit of family Dimitri has
Mhm.
left at that point in the game.
Because
Like
stepmom
he like
suspiciously vanished.
well, it is confirmed she's also dead after that, but
Oh
like
yeah, not by explosion.
yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I like but like, Lambert's dead,
Yeah,
Patricia's dead, his birth mother's dead, his uncle is dead, both of them, like both his uncle Rufus and
yeah.
Lord Arundel. Edelgard's it. Edelgard's all he has left of family.
Well, and there is Claude, the distant cousin.
Yeah, the distant cousin, but that's not like in terms of
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but like Edelgard is all he has,
Hmm.
and he very much wants, and he wants that hope. Like maybe, just maybe, we can end this without
Hmm.
having to kill each other. That's what he, and I feel like that's why I think it's probably like who
That's the
handled
bet.
it best.
Would be Dimitri because he tried.
He tries because I don't recall, I can't recall, like I know, like I can't recall anyone like thinking to sit down and like, hey Edelgard, can you maybe not?
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously
As I can
that's
remember, the reason why Claude didn't was because he didn't think, hey, could you not? Because he wouldn't get the chance. Well, because Edelgard doesn't give him the chance to.
mhm. Like Sedith doesn't do that because in his, I mean, obviously there's a reason why Sedith doesn't, because
She's trying
as
to
far
destroy
as
the
Sedith
church.
is yeah, as far as Sedith is concerned, Edelgard is an enemy of the church and must be killed
Uh huh.
because Sedith's loyalty is, and I should have explained this a little earlier, but Sedith like Seteth does take the role of the Lord, the role of the Lord
Uh-huh.
in Silver Snow.
Yeah.
He kind of takes he takes over for kind of like the Lord role. Like he's very much
Took you almost 2
acts
hours to
as
explain that.
yeah. I realize like I'm using Seteth. I
Like, what's
realize
Senate
it
have to
was
do
very
with this?
it was very much the case. I realized like I did just realize like I'm using Seteth. I mean like when I'm talking about Silver Snow, I'm using Seteth in place of like Claude Edelgard and
Mhm.
Dimitri.
If that
But
were
yeah,
the
because
case, I probably would have if I would have known that, I would have probably actually probably not.
it doesn't. It's three houses.
Yeah.
It's like those three are the ones that are important. It's very much the case of like Seteth is the closest that this is the closest you have to actually fulfilling that role.
There's no art of like uh of Edelgard and the Empire Banner, Dimitri and the Kingdom Banner, uh Claude and the Alliance Banner, and then Seteth.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
if that were the case, I would just
Seteth,
have like that same photo, but then just Seteth just like right next to him.
yeah, Seteth does take the place of well, I mean, because Edelgard's no longer there, you need someone to kind of fulfill that role,
Yeah.
and that's what Seteth is for.
Huh.
Mhm.
Kind of makes his character a bit more deep.
It does.
It's
I do.
more
I like Seteth.
it's more than just him and Flynn getting stuck in the McDonald's happy play place.
Yes, I like Seteth. Seteth's a good character.
There's a lot of good characters.
Yeah, but and Claude not doing it because you said, like Edelgard probably wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
Dimitri wanted that hope,
Hmm.
and the reason and Edelgard was very much like, nope, my way is the only way. They will be like this is how
Hmm.
it will change through subjugation.
It does so yeah. It's like Edelgard knows that it wouldn't like they won't work, but that's like because
It's
but that's because she's so she thinks that it won't work because she's unwilling to compromise. Is that like what it is?
it it's not like it's more the case of like she is unwilling to compromise, therefore diplomacy is not an
Well,
option.
yeah, yeah, but like when Edelgard's like you got to carve your own path. It's because like you're not going to agree with me, so we can't work. Is that what it's
Yeah,
like?
it in a sense, yes. Like both Edelgard and Dimitri have different viewpoints
Hmm.
for Fodlan.
Yeah,
Edelgard completely wants to remove the caste system, the
yeah.
church, like everything.
Crest the
While
church of the entire
Dimitri,
system.
yeah, while Dimitri, while he isn't a fan of the system, he knows why it's there because, like I said, Fargus and like I was saying, Fargus and Adrestia have different like viewpoints.
Hmm.
Like they're like the abundance of heroes relics that the houses of Fargus have
Yeah.
is how they keep enemies at bay.
Hmm.
Like it's like, oh look at like we have these very strong weapons. Like that's how they keep a lot of like Fodlan's enemies away by just having like basically they have like the most missiles.
Yeah.
They have the most
Javelins of
missiles.
light.
Yeah, it's very much that case. It's like
That
because
threw me
like
through a loop when those things happen. Like, what?
oh
What
yes,
kind of citizen is this?
Our Gothans just have nukes. Yeah.
We are evil and we live
but
in your
y-
walls and we have nukes.
but yeah, you think about it. You have Eredbar, you have Lance of Ruin, you have Luen, you have Crusher. Like you have like a lot. There are a lot of like there are like the most like heroes relics, and technically Thunderbrand because Catherine is from
Kingdom.
Fargus. Catherine's originally from Fargus. Her
Hmm.
house is in Fargus. Her
Yeah.
like Thunderbrand would be counted as like that's half. That is half of the heroes relics
Yeah.
that Fargus has access to.
Yeah. So it's definitely like with the stark differences and
Yeah. So
Dimitri wants to stick
D-
with what's going like so it's like Edelgard
it's not that like it's
yeah,
not like Dimitri wants to stick with it. He doesn't
yeah.
he does want a place where like oh we like crests aren't the only thing that makes someone worthy.
Yeah, well, so how I thought of it was so Edelgard wants to wants to burn everything, then be on top because she thinks that she's the only one qualified, not because she wants power, but because she thinks she's the only one who's actually able to do it. And
it's more the fact that Edelgard wants to uproot the crest system and the church and turn it into a meritocracy, where
gotta figure out what that actually means.
I was going to explain it.
Okay.
A meritocracy is basically a system of where you prove yourself to be worthy of power.
Oh,
basically.
Okay.
It's so, for example, like how Bernadetta would have, inherited House Varley, correct?
Yeah.
Under a meritocracy, she might not inherit her house's lands
because she would not be
if she doesn't do anything that proves she's worthy of that title.
So it's literally you earn your place.
Yes, it's very much a system where everyone has a chance to earn their place. Okay. That's what she wants.
Yeah, and Dimitri,
Dimitri on the other hand, Dimitri on the other hand understands there is an issue with the system. However, it's kind of a necessity in a way.
Mm-hmm.
He also believes that oh yes, everyone should be seen regardless of who you are. It doesn't matter if you have a crest, doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter it doesn't matter about that stuff. We're all people.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So Edelgard thinks the system is the issue. Dimitri thinks the people in the system that are taking advantage of the system, they're the issue.
Yes, it is very much. It is. I remember seeing I know there's I did see a meme, and I did send it to you.
Oh wait,
no, I sent it to me. I sent it to you, and I'm thinking I'm going back to try and find it. There's a lot that there's a lot that we have sent to each other. So I'm going. Oh, here it is. I found it.
Didn't work.
It is. So it is it's kind of that funny political square graph.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Edelgard is the system is working as intended and must be destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
While Dimitri is the system is broken and it must be fixed.
Yeah.
That's how they work.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. And so Dimitri sees that he thinks the system is fine, but it's just the people taking advantage of it. He sees justice.
Yes, it is. That is very much the case. He believes that he very much sees the system can work. It just needs a reset. It just needs a factory reset. We need to change how the system works. Edelgard thinks the system is working, and it shouldn't work anymore.
Yeah, she thinks it's working, but it shouldn't.
Yeah, no, she to Edelgard everything's working as it should. It shouldn't.
That's not good.
Yes, that is very much how she sees it.
And Claude, he sees it he sees the system.
The system is broken and it's hilarious. Is what the meme says.
Yeah. but it's what would you consider what would you classify the system would it be a monarchy with the kingdom? That's what the system is, a monarchy?
I mean, all three of them are some form of monarchy.
Well, yeah, but so Edelgard wants a meritocracy. Dimitri wants a monarchy, right?
Dimitri wants I will say at the ending of the routes.
Yeah.
Edelgard does step down from being emperor.
Yeah.
Due to the two crests, shortening her life, and she puts someone else in charge of the whole thing. But at the end of the day, she still makes it so.
Yeah,
it's
but
still more or less.
The end goal of what it
the end goal still works.
Yeah, end goal still works. At the end of result.
At the end of Azure Moon, it's more or less the same as how things started. It's just now the entire Fodlan is more or less under the rule of Fargus.
Yeah.
And the church is still there. The church is still there, but Byleth is the archbishop at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then when it comes to Silverstone and Verdant Wind, Byleth becomes the monarch of a unified Fodlan.
Yeah. Yes, but so it's Dimitri wants it to be a monarchy, and Claude kind of wants the place to be a republic, kind of.
Claude more or less wants Fodlan to like not be isolated. He doesn't want like that whole isolated
Yeah,
like
he
nation
wants
of Fodlan.
the borders to be broken, but and then racism. Like he wants us all to be friends, and he wants us all
Yeah,
to be friends and work together.
and Claude already
If
I
anything,
mean
kind
like
of sounds socialist.
I mean I don't know, but like I mean like you said, he'd still like Claude doesn't really have like any grand designs for Fodlan.
Yeah, but just like
Cause like
what it technically
because like
like what
the moment's like, all right, I did it. I'm heading back to Elmira.
head
Peace.
back to Elmira. You got this.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, like each of them have different ideas.
Yeah,
And yeah, and like the whole thing is like Dimitri tries, but however, both of them, however, Edelgard knows like I don't want what you want. You don't want what I want.
we can't
At the end
work.
of the day, we can't coexist.
Hmm.
Like I want the system gone. You want to fix the system.
Yeah.
Like and that's the big thing. The system of Fodlan,
Hmm.
the the caste system, the caste system with the crests,
Excuse me.
and how the church does things. It's one side wants to fix it, one side wants to tear it down.
Yeah.
They can't work together.
Hmm. So, what would be your like overall takeaway from the game?
Oh boy.
Like, yes, there's plenty of takeaways you can do, but like, what would be like
Mm-hmm.
an overall, like either overall or like one of the first ones that comes to your mind if you can't think of one.
It's
Like for me, I think I did a pretty good job summing it up in the video. It is just like how not to keep your friends.
no, yeah. Um, there are going to be people out in the world that are going to have different viewpoints on how things should go.
Hmm.
There are going to be people out there with different viewpoints.
Hmm.
You know, people are going to think something should be different. It's like, you know, especially like people are going to think you should be different than you.
Hmm.
It's going to happen. It's the the price of being human.
Yeah.
But those people are inherently bad people.
Hmm.
Edelgard is a prime example of that. She wants something complete. She has a completely different viewpoint.
Yeah.
And as someone who played Blue Lions first, you would expect like, you know, me to be standing there first in line for the Punch Edelgard in the Face Club.
Like I was.
But but you take the time to know to kind of to understand like that was what I feel like the big thing that really set me on the path to picking Crimson Flowers next was that scene of Edelgard and Dimitri trying to be diplomatic with him.
Hmm.
Him meeting with Edelgard and saying, "Hey, is there any chance, even the slightest chance, the two of us can agree to disagree
Hmm.
and live together?" And it was at that moment that I was very much like, and she was kind of explaining how everything. Well, she didn't really go into full detail of like whole
Yeah.
why, you know, the whole why you obviously have to go through Crimson Flowers to get
Hmm.
that. But
Yeah.
it was at that moment I realized she's not a bad person.
Hmm.
She just has a different view.
Hmm.
And it
Very
was
extreme
after
on it, but
that
still.
very. I mean, it's a Fire Emblem game,
Yeah.
so you're gonna need
It's a form of
conflict.
media. You're gonna need conflict, and
Yeah.
there's gonna be extremes.
Yeah, you're gonna need conflict. Without conflict, you have no story.
Exactly. In most cases, some like I do know like it in like westernized stuff. There is definitely like conflict and like the hero's journey stuff. But like in Eastern like in Eastern like there's actually like quite a few stories that like have like absolutely no conflict at all.
That's fair, but I mean, for a compelling video
Yeah.
game, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure like
Most of the time, yeah.
conflict's kind of needed because
Hmm.
it's like, oh, oh, yay, fighting.
Yeah. All right.
But it was that moment of her kind of saying like we both want different things, you know it, and neither of us are willing to budge on what we believe. It was that moment I realized like she isn't a bad person. She's just going about it in a way that I don't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be more specific, that Dimitri
Yeah.
doesn't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's after the credits rolled. I booted up using New Game Plus because it's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
I booted up a new game, picked the Black Eagles, played through Crimson Flowers, and I gotta say, a lot of fun. It
Yeah.
was, like I said, two sides of the same coin are those two,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to see the other side. So very much a good takeaway that I can say. Take the time to understand the other side. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to agree with it. Just take the time to understand where they're coming from.
Well said.
That's something I feel like a lot of people can really learn from in real
Mm-hmm.
life. Just people disagree. People have disagreements on how things should be
Yeah.
and, what's right for them.
Mm-hmm.
Just take the time, be civil, and get to understand why. Why do they think that way?
Mm-hmm.
That's very much the case with,
As my brother
I
says,
mean,
be curious, not critical.
exactly. I mean, that's the whole reason why. I mean, if you were to look at if I were to just label off like what the three lords like goals are without explaining any of their
Yeah.
motivations, what does that say about them? It's like, oh, they're just, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can draw opinions much
Yeah.
harsher
Well, you straw man
because
them.
like, yeah, when you strawman them, but when you take the time to know and understand why and how those conclusions were came to,
Yeah.
it makes things a lot more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it so you understand that game as a whole. Like you understand how Dimitri thinks, what he does. You understand why Claude does what Claude does. You understand why Edelgard took such an extreme measure.
Yeah.
Because change wasn't going to slowly happen. No.
Yeah.
She knew she needed to be that hammer.
All they needed was just a little push.
Very much. Like it was very much a case of like Edelgard saw for the past almost 1,000 years at that
Mm-hmm.
point. Nothing is going to change how Fodlan operated.
Mm-hmm. I'm not
There
helping
need
my case with the Fire Emblem fan base with Edelgard me continuing to compare her to the Joker.
I mean, like I said, play through it and you'll understand.
Yeah. I understand. I understand already because doing the research,
Hmm.
but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a different thing when playing it.
Hmm.
Well, that's a very well. Oh, yeah, unless you have anything else on that.
Not really. Not really. It's just going to be more rambling it's just going to be me rambling and kind of saying the same things. But yes, a takeaway I'd say is take the time to understand
Mm-hmm.
the other side. It could save you a lot of unnecessary
Bloodshed.
hatred.
No, yeah, it's very much like well, as said, even if you disagree with someone who you know, or even you don't know, it's all right to set up boundaries, but without communication and willingness to compromise, those boundaries become brick walls.
Hmm.
So, so that's your takeaway on the game. What's your takeaway on the video? Because that's what we're here for. We're not here to talk about 3 hours. We're here
uh,
to talk about my stuff. That's what this is.
10 out of 10 would watch more Fire Emblem again.
Oh gosh dang. Everyone, that's like a thing apparently for every loading screen video. Someone tells me to do another one. Like
Did you,
Jam Joe
well,
told...
your brother didn't. Oh, your brother didn't ask you to do a Xenoblade game?
He did.
Oh, of course he
Yeah,
did.
that's what I'm saying. Jam Joe asked me to do Xenoblade.
You don't have to do Fire Emblem as your next thing. I'm just saying, hey, maybe
Gotta keep it...
put it in the rotation.
Yeah, maybe. I gotta figure out what I'm doing next. Like I have a couple ideas, but I gotta nail down what I'm gonna do next.
Yeah.
I plan on getting like one more video out while like one more video ready. Because I won't like if plans go well in the next 2 weeks, I'll probably be MIA for the next 6 weeks because working at my summer job.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I intend to have like one more video out, so then I actually could do bi-weekly videos while I'm gone. Because I got the Fire Emblem video coming out soon, then I got this one coming out, then hopefully the next one.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, the Fire Emblem video already came out.
Yeah.
It's totally not coming out this Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday. Well, thank you very much, CT. Is there anything you'd like to say to the Smexy fans before signing out?
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This guy does good stuff. Stay tuned for more.
You talking about your channel now? What about mine?
I'm talking about your channel.
I know.
My channel's been dead for about a year.
I know.
I'm working on it. I'm working on moving into my own place eventually. So
I understand.
once I'm on my own, I might I'm probably gonna try and pick things back up.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess it'll be time. It's that time of the day. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to check out the Chief Tomahawk or CT's channel. Be sure to check it out. May not have a couple things recently, but eventually stuff might come up if things go right. Yes?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Eventually.
So just go check out my friend's channel and support them, and go tell your friends you'll love them. I guess, would you like to say goodbye?
Sure. Until next time, everyone. Hope you'll catch more videos here in the future. Late.
All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.